Now, you might have heard me talking about a sober toolbox and wondered what exactly is a sober toolbox. And even if you've got a sober toolbox, what are you going to put in it? Where do you get the tools from? Now, first of all, you can't buy a sober toolbox in a hardware store. It's something that you create for yourself. I created mine using my journal and wrote down the tools that I knew would serve me as I moved forward into my alcohol-free life. And I want you to do the same thing. Knowing the tools that work for you can give you so much of an edge when it comes to living alcohol-free and staying sober for the long term. And today I want to share with you 9 tools that help me get sober and stay sober. Hopefully some of them will give you some inspiration and you'll be able to bring them into your own life and put them in your own sober toolbox. I'm Simon Chapple, I'm the Quit Alcohol Coach, and I run this YouTube channel to help anyone who wants to change their relationship with alcohol. There's new videos every Tuesday and every Thursday, so hit the subscribe button and the bell icon and you'll be notified every time there's a new video. You're also welcome to check out my books. There's the Sober Survival Guide, How to Quit Alcohol in 50 Days, and How to Heal Your Inner Child, which is released later this year, but it's available for pre-order now. Hopefully one of those will appeal to you. And you also can join my Stop Drinking program. You can try it totally free for 14 days. The website address is on the screen at the moment if you feel like that's something that will benefit you. Now let's talk about those 9 tools that help me get sober and stay sober. The first one is YouTube. Unbelievably, that's where we are right now. But the videos and inspiration that I found on YouTube really helped me move forward and change my mindset about the way that I wanted alcohol to feature in my life. I would watch tutorials about quitting drinking. I was listening to other people's stories and finding their inspirational shares were motivating me to get exactly where they were. I learned so much through using what was available on YouTube. And of course you can explore my channel and channels from some of the other awesome inspirational sobriety coaches and people who've changed their lives through quitting drinking right here on YouTube. So everything you need is right here, right now, and you can dig into that library straight away. The next tool that helped me in a big way was Facebook. I'm not a huge Facebook user, but when it came to quitting drinking, joining sobriety groups, which are private communities that none of your friends can see you're part of, they can't see anything that you share or that you post, it was a game changer for me. I suddenly felt like I wasn't on my own. I was connecting with new people who understood the journey and understood what I was going through. And there were people who were way ahead of me in terms of how long they'd been alcohol free. And that really helped me. I thought I could align myself with those people and learn from what they've done. Their experiences could hopefully teach me. And those people were happy to take me under their wing and share the knowledge that they'd picked up through their own experiences. And of course there were people who were much earlier in the journey who would look to me for support and advice, and I was more than happy to share. The sense of community and feeling like I was part of something bigger than just me made Facebook one of the best tools on my route to quitting alcohol. And I now run a Facebook group which has got over 20,000 members. So if you feel like you're alone, just head over to my website, click on the Facebook icon and you can join the group. It's completely free and I would love you to become part of the community. Alcohol-free drinks were also a big tool for me. I would drink to a routine every evening at the same time. I would go through the same process, I would use the same glass, and I would sit in that same position. Unless I'd gone out socially, it was always that same position on the sofa, going through the same old routine. When I discovered the huge range of zero alcohol drinks, botanical drinks, not drinks that are pretending to taste like alcohol, drinks that are grown up and have got a taste all of their own, it really made a huge difference for me. It filled the void that alcohol once occupied, and I would urge you to check out the huge range of drinks that are available. Now for some people those kind of drinks can feel like a trigger for the real thing, and if that happens, and it only happens to a small percentage of people, then obviously you need to change your drink. But assuming it doesn't, the chances are you're going to find a new go-to drink without all the negative consequences that alcohol brings. And exercise was another tool that I put into my toolbox. I knew that I needed to find new sources of dopamine. I thought hard about what it was that I got from alcohol, and part of it was that feeling of detachment and being away on my own, where I couldn't be disturbed or bothered by uncomfortable thoughts or feelings. And sure, I was hiding from a lot of things that I needed to face into, and I've talked about that on some of my other videos. But more importantly, I found that exercise gave me so many of those same feelings, along with a big hit of dopamine to go with it. I felt great after exercising, and I put that into my toolbox and into my routine. I knew that the more I did, within reason, the better I was going to feel, and I knew that it was there whenever I needed it to turn to. Becoming mindful and meditating was also a big part of my journey. I wasn't a big meditator and I wasn't hugely into mindfulness, so I used the Calm app. Now there are other apps that do the same thing, such as Headspace and Insight Timer, and there's plenty more as well if you search the App Store. But what I needed was an app that had guided meditations and guided mindfulness practices, and Calm gave me everything that I needed. I loved the 10-minute daily Calm. It didn't need a huge time commitment, and I felt like I was able to show up for that every single day, and it changed every day, so I felt like I was connected and I was really engaged with the app. The fact that it keeps a streak of how often you've been turning up to do your meditation and mindfulness practices makes it all the better. If you feel that meditation and mindfulness just aren't your thing, then I would invite you to give it a try with a short guided meditation. And okay, the first few times you do it, your head might be full of thoughts, but that's fine. That's what this is about. It's learning to notice rather than get wrapped up in the spider's web of feelings and emotions that can come with those thoughts, or acting on thoughts that bring us negative consequences. This is about noticing and just being aware without reaction. Try the Calm app, or try Headspace, or try Insight Timer, and I'd love to hear what your experience is when you give it a go. Now, when I quit drinking, I discovered that many of the things I thought I liked, such as partying and going out drinking, they really weren't exciting me in the way that they used to. I started to discover that I was actually more introverted than I was extroverted. I started to discover new things that really lit me up and brought joy into my life, things that I became immersed in when I did them. I like to do painting and art and listen to music. I like to read, and above all, I love to write, as you might know if you've read any of my books. So I started a blog not long after I quit drinking and began sharing my journey. And it felt like a place where I could express myself, and I could use it a bit like a journal. I could just share what was coming up for me. I could express it. People started to comment back, and conversations began to flow around the different things that I was talking about. My blog was cathartic for me, and I'm so thankful that it's gone on to help thousands and thousands of other people who've read the content and taken something positive from it. So think about what works for you. Maybe you'll consider starting an anonymous Instagram account and using that as a way of feeling accountable and sharing your story. If writing doesn't light you up, maybe expressing yourself in a more creative way will. Think about what it was you did when you were younger that you would get immersed in, so immersed that you'd lose track of time. That's what you need to be doing. And another app that really helped me and was most definitely in my toolbox, and it in fact is still in my toolbox, is the I Am Sober app. It allowed me to count the days, and it allowed me to track how much money I'd saved since I stopped drinking. And it also gave me regular motivational quotes and affirmations that just helped me feel that little bit more positive on my journey. But really, that app was all about counting the days for me. And I remember when I first quit, looking at that app multiple times a day, and I was almost willing it to go on to the next day, just wishing the days away. Thankfully, after a few months, I wasn't looking at the app so much, and these days, at almost 3 years alcohol free, I hardly ever look at it at all, other than on the big milestones. But it definitely helped me through those early stages. It gave me a sense of success, and it felt like a reward to get the milestones when I hit 50 days or even 7 days alcohol free. There felt like I was moving forward on a journey, and I was achieving and accomplishing something as I continued to do so. Now, I mentioned Instagram earlier, and maybe you'd consider opening an anonymous account and sharing your journey as you go forward. But Instagram has also been a huge tool in my sobriety toolbox. I've connected with so many people in the sober community, and there really are some inspirational people on Instagram that will help just about anyone who needs assistance or wants help in understanding the best way to stop drinking. The Instagram community really is awesome. And of course, on Instagram, you can choose who you follow, so you can make it your own and create your own feed that really fits with your own individual needs. Make sure you follow Be Sober and Quit too, though. That's really important. And the ninth tool that I want to share, and believe me, there are many more, so I'll probably do another video with a whole bunch of other tools that are in my toolbox. But the final one is books. Books really did help me, and I committed to doing daily work on moving forward in my alcohol-free journey. So having a book was great because I could read, for example, one chapter a day, or if it was an audio book, I could listen to the book for a certain period of time each day. And I would mark that off on a wall chart to show that I'd turned up that day and done my work. And once again, I would create a streak, and that streak looked great. In the description below, you can find a page on my blog which has reviews of my favourite stop drinking books. And there's some books on there that aren't stop drinking books, but I believe will also help you on the alcohol-free journey. There's a whole bunch of reviews on there, so feel free to dive into that if you're looking for some inspiration around your next read. And as I mentioned, I've got a new book coming out in December, How to Heal Your Inner Child. I would love you to pre-order that and check it out and share with me what you think of it when you've read it.